Hey, Other Legal Warriors. In this video, Abby and me, we're going to talk about something very important. How to talk to your loved ones or your friends or your family, or maybe how you shouldn't talk to them about being accused of a crime. If you're interested in this area of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. So this is a new format we're trying out. And because, as you've heard me talk about, I tend to walk around the office and go, hey, who's got some good ideas about how we can help people out there watching, what we do? And Abby, who you might have seen in some of my shorts, she's the guru of the firm. She's not a lawyer, but she might be one day. She has a lot of client communication. And Abby came up with an idea, and I'll let you take it from there, Abby.
So one of the things that a lot of clients are concerned about when I speak with them is about how to communicate about their criminal charge with their family, partner, and what kind of they should say or what they're not allowed to say, and a way to phrase it for them that is digestible and also easily understandable for the people who want to help them in their lives.
And that's good that you mentioned that, because what I often see myself is people that don't want to reach out to their family for help, right? One of the questions I often ask of a potential new client, someone talking to our firm for the first time, is, do you live alone or with other people? And sometimes I go, I think that might be a creepy question, but what I'm really trying to do is find out what their support system looks like, right? And if they live with other people, then I say, well, who do you live with? Then I might say, what do those people sound like? Do they sound like, I'm really mad at you for doing this, you're going to ruin your life? Or do they sound like, oh, we're going to support you and help you? Or is it somewhere in between? And so my wisdom that I put out there typically is, if you're trying to decide if you want help, first of all, look out for your own safety, number one, because we don't want to cause a problem for your safety, but we don't always get to choose what the other person's best outcome is for them. And to me, what I mean by that is, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to burden my mom, or I don't want to burden my father, I don't want to put stress on them. And you might be surprised that a family member might often be more upset if they weren't given the opportunity to help than if they were. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree, especially when, facing a charge, it might be overwhelming, or, having to register for a class or an evaluation might feel really heavy. Oftentimes I've seen with our clients, having a support system, whether it's a brother or a parent or a partner, to help them through the process and kind of, help keep them on track, can be really helpful. And also, most of the time, the loved ones are there to help and are happy to help. And just want you to be successful, and obviously want you to have a safe space for the most part at home. So I think for a lot of clients, it's really beneficial. And if we're given permission to speak with those family members, of course, then we can kind of help on the back end with getting things set up as well.
And that's a good point that you bring up. And I remember you mentioned this to me beforehand. If anyone watches our station, we don't script anything, right? We just talk about real life and what we deal with. And I remember you told me, it's important that people out there realize that your attorney isn't typically allowed, or your attorney's staff isn't typically allowed to talk to someone who you haven't told us it's okay to talk to, because sometimes we'll get a call from a parent, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently the child, who might be our client, an adult child, has shared all the information with the parent, and the parent has their own concerns, and maybe they're calling in from out of state or something, and then we say, well, either we can't talk to you or we can't confirm or deny that's the client. And can that cause an upset in the people that are calling? What have you experienced?
Yeah, 100%. I think that, parents can get frustrated if they don't understand, why we might not be able to talk to them. And it might put a divide between, two people who are trying to help you, your attorney as well as your loved ones. They might feel confused or like they're in the dark from your attorney's perspective. Whereas if you give us that permission, then an attorney or a member of our team would be able to talk freely with them and explain some things better. So for example, I help a lot of clients get evaluations set up, and sometimes there's some confusion on what exactly that means. So if a parent wants to help get it set up and has some questions, if we're able to speak with them, then I can kind of explain the process to them as well, and help calm their fears and whatever conceptions that they might have before finding out what that exactly means.
And that's good that people, that if you're out there watching this, that you know this, and every firm's different, right? And so this, sometimes we show behind the curtain about how we do things here, but each firm will do something different. And so how would you give permission for someone to talk to somebody? Well, in our firm, we might take more informal permission. Go, you just tell us, we'll make a note of it, we're all on the same team. Some firms might want a signed written waiver, right? And certainly a public defender might want that, because public defenders are more, they don't get to choose their clients, and the clients don't choose them, so there can be a more difficult situation. So from our point of view, sometimes it'll be implied who we can talk to, like if someone came in with the client and sat through some type of talking, we'll ask a question. But it's important that if you're going to have someone call your attorney that has never called your attorney before, no matter who's your attorney, you're probably going to want to get a hold of that law firm or that public defender and say, hey, I want you to know it's okay for you to talk to this person. And then the attorney or the staff member might say, well, why are you having them call us, and what are our limits of what we can talk to them about? What shouldn't we talk to them about? And how are they going to be part of helping everybody in this situation? Does that seem fair?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. As far as reasons to be careful, the attorney here talking is, anything you tell anyone about the facts of your case can be used against you if the prosecutor learns about it, right? There's certain things called spousal privilege, but that's waived if it's like a domestic violence case. And so if you go around talking about what happened, yeah, well, I only punched him once, right? And so why is the prosecutor so mad? Now, let's say you're talking to someone about that, and the prosecutor learns that you said that to somebody. The prosecutor can subpoena that somebody and have them go to court and say what you said, that admission. So when we're talking about whether or not it's a good idea to seek support of family and friends, there's some limits about what I, as an attorney, would want somebody sharing, if possible. And there's law school answers and there's real life answers, right? The law school answers, we say nothing, right? The real life answers, sometimes we will trust a parent or someone to know more because they're part of the solution to the problem. And that's likely something that we take into account too. If you were talking to someone out there about the pluses or minuses of seeking support from the family, you've talked to so many people, what's your point of view on it overall?
Yeah, I think overall it can be really awesome to have a good support system and to kind of communicate about what the expectations are and what you're going through, so then those in your life know how to support you best. And also just a good thing to keep in mind, as in, anything in life, is that you don't owe anyone any information. So if there is some part that you don't feel comfortable sharing with your family, even if they're super eager to help and might want all the details, there's no pressure. You're not forced to say anything that you don't want to or share anything.
That's a good point. So, well, I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. And, let us know in the comments if you find this type of video useful. Something besides just me talking to you. I really appreciate Abby here joining me and being brave and getting on camera here to sort of help me figure out from another perspective, what it is that we can do to help anyone out there facing a criminal charge. So, if you have a legal problem in Washington State, a criminal matter, feel free to reach out to our firm. If you get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we'll be there for you, correct?
Yes.
All right, give me 5.
All right.